Okay, so you know how you're like at work and your boss gives you an assignment and the first thought that comes to your mind is, well, what if I just use ChatGPT or a large language model to do this instead of doing the work? No one's going to notice. Funny story about that, and it has to do with this character right over here, Eddie Egan. I'm looking at this profile right now on LinkedIn, and there's a nice little badge, open to work. Why is Mr. Egan open to work? And what does it have to do with ChatGPT? You're going to want to sit down and listen to this, because this is actually a funny story and a bit of a mystery, because I can't tell if this is on purpose, as if this whole thing is one large marketing scheme to get people into the theaters to watch Francis Ford Coppola's new movie Megalopolis. But okay, stop. Eddie, let's rewind for a second, okay? Let's rewind for a second and head over to this headline from Variety. Okay, Variety. Megalopolis trailers fake critic quotes were AI generated. LIONSGATE drops marketing consultant responsible for snafu. Okay, so Francis Ford Coppola, the famed director of The Godfather, Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now, The Conversation, one of the greatest film directors alive. He's 80 years old. Made a movie called Megalopolis, and the trailer just dropped the other day. And what happened was, in the trailer, there are certain parts of the trailer were quotes from famous critics. So what happened was LIONSGATE, or the consultant, Eddie Egan, who we just saw, basically went to ChatGPT and was like, hey, give me some negative quotes about Francis Ford Coppola's new film, about Francis Ford Coppola's old films. And the reason that they did this was because Megalopolis screened at the Cannes Film Festival, and it was released, and it was a bit of a mixed bag. Some critics weren't crazy about it. And so I'm assuming what happened was LIONSGATE wanted to get ahead of this and release a trailer in which they sort of talk about Francis Ford Coppola's genius, which is often misunderstood, and they give examples, which are fake examples, of critics in the 70s and in the 90s with Dracula, giving false reviews and saying, well, if the critics didn't like The Godfather and The Godfather 2 and Apocalypse Now, they don't know what they're talking about. You have to go and see Megalopolis. The problem is those specific critics, like Pauline Kael from The New Yorker, actually really liked the movie The Godfather, and so these are fake quotes, and basically our friend Adam, who's now open for work if you all want to hire him, and basically what he did was he went to ChatGPT and prompted it. It was like, give me some bad reviews from The New Yorker, from Village Voice about Francis Ford Coppola's movies, and then Variety did some hard-hitting journalism. They went and they're like, when Variety prompted AI service chatbot to provide negative criticism about Coppola's work from well-known reviewers, the responses provided were strikingly similar to the quotes included in the trailer. So basically, yeah, they were able to recreate these fake quotes. And so there's a lot of questions about this. First of all, did he do this on purpose? Meaning, did LIONSGATE try to do this on purpose and hope to get away with it? Meaning, they were like, nobody's going to care about these fake critics. The point is, we're trying to show that the critics that watched Megalopolis maybe misunderstood it, and then Francis Ford Coppola is a misunderstood genius. You just look at these fake quotes from ChatGPT to see that despite the critics, it's a great film. Some people claim that it's actually just a simple mistake, like you know how these things work. You have Adam Egan was like, hey, send this to the editor, but use these as temporary placeholders until we actually get the quotes. Because if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, you'll see a lot of actual people reviewing poor reviews of Megalopolis, and you could just have taken those quotes, but that wouldn't have furthered your narrative, which is that he's a misunderstood genius. He might be a misunderstood genius, but the fact is that Francis Ford Coppola has not made a good film since 1992. 8 and 24, that's like 30-something years. My theory is that this was in fact not a mistake, and this was in fact done on purpose. And the reason that they did this was because nobody is going, I'm gonna stop this trailer, we get it. Roger Ebert was like, this terrible, yeah, none of these people said this, Falls Flat by Rex Reed. So the problem is that nobody is going to the movie theaters. Movies are just failing left and right, and there's really no reason to go to a movie theater. It's super expensive, right? Tickets are really expensive. Concessions are really expensive. Popcorn is really expensive. Getting to the movies, paying for gas, getting a babysitter. No one wants to go to the movie theaters anymore, okay? And so These people were tasked with a very difficult job. Hey, get people into the theater to watch Francis Ford Coppola's self-indulgent mess, whatever this film is. This guy paid for it with his own money, and it looks, just by looking at this trailer, like it's an absolute mess. Like, I don't want to watch this, right? No one's going to want to watch this. And so how do we get people talking about a movie that nobody really is going to be talking about? What if we staged some sort of, just using AI. We'll blame AI. Nobody cares. AI is making tons of mistakes. We'll just blame AI, and if we need to, we'll just throw Adam Egan under the bus. We'll create a fake trailer using AI. When it gets discovered, and it will get discovered really quickly because it's very easy to see that these people did not say these things, that will create a lot of buzz about the movie Megalopolis. Therefore, maybe people will go and want to see it. They'll now be hearing about it in places that they wouldn't have heard about it before. So actually, in a way, this controversy, like most controversies, is helping the marketing of the film. And me making a little 17-minute video about it also is falling right into their hands and basically promoting this film. I don't think that we should be blaming ChatGPT, and it's just strange because every one of my videos I'm like, hey, you have to blame ChatGPT. But I think in this case specifically, we have a great example of what the future holds, and it's just basically unethical, unscrupulous people using AI in ways to manipulate us while maintaining this sort of air of deniability afterward and saying, well, we had no idea. It was an honest mistake. It was ChatGPT. That's just my guess. Anyway, this is me, and as it says on my LinkedIn profile, I'm at the intersection of art and tech, and I think this video is a great example of that intersection. Also, what is an intersection of art and tech? It's a strange metaphor. It sounds like you're a